Hi guys, it's Miranda from My Sister's Bookshelf. Today I'm going to do my December wrap-up. I was a little bit more busy in December than I expected to be, but I did get to read a few things. Oh, and if you're wondering, I got these really cute ears in my BFF box by BeautyCon this month, and so I thought I would wear them. I will link my unboxing video down below, but I'm not going to go to Disney, so I thought I would just have fun and wear them every once in a while. I ended up reading 8 things in December. I am happy with. My reading goal for the total year of 2015 was only 15 because I didn't really start getting back into reading until August, till late August. So I ended up reading 40 books by the end of 2015. So I'm very proud of myself to read that much since August till now. So yeah, so I'm pretty proud of myself. I think that I did pretty good. I did go outside of my box. I did start reading more graphic novels and I never read graphic novels before. I also started reading more adult fiction, where before I was reading mostly young adult. So I'm really excited about the things that I did in 2015, the things that I read, and I'm looking very forward to 2016. The first thing I read in December was Panic by Lauren Oliver. Now, I really did enjoy this book. Well, what Panic is about is it's about the seniors of a school. They all put in a pot of money, and at the end of the year, those who want to participate have to do these dangerous stunts at the end of the year that go from like all summer they have to do. And at the end, one person wins all of the money that all the seniors have put in throughout the whole school year. So it ends up being like over $50,000, and they all have to complete these stunts in order to win it. And it goes through to a couple of different point of views. I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was really interesting. It's told in the third person, even though it's told in the different from the different perspectives. So I really liked it. It is, if you like Lauren Oliver's writing, she does kind of have a certain vibe in her books, which I really do like, and I really did like this book a lot. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I thought the only thing I wasn't 100% that I liked about it was the ending. I think the ending was a little bit predictable, but at the same time, I really enjoyed the book. I really did. I would recommend it. Definitely 4 out of 5 stars. The next thing that I read in December was Bossy Pants by Tina Fey, and this was hilarious. I will link down a video below where I talk more about the book, where I did my nonfiction read. Definitely give this book 5 out of 5 stars. I think it's hilarious. I think it is very realistic, and I think Tina Fey really shines through in the book. I really enjoyed it. I did listen to the audiobook, and it was fabulous. The next thing I read in December was The Help by Catherine Stockett, and this, I'm sure you know, but it's a book told from the maid's perspectives in the 1960s, so it'd be like 1962, Jackson, Mississippi. And if you know anything about American history, you know that that wasn't the best time for Black Americans. And I thought this was very interesting, especially in Mississippi. It was a really harsh time. It was very historically accurate, but at the same time, it was still heartwarming. It was funny. The parts of the perspective, it goes between 3 different perspectives, which is Minnie, which this is Minnie, Aibileen, and then Skeeter's point of view. And she is trying to write a book from the perspective of the Help, and so she's enlisting them to help her write this book. And it was just, I loved it. This was one of the books that I thought I knew what it was about, and then I read it and I was like, wow, that was good. This book is definitely in my top 10 favorite books of all time. I would definitely give this book 5 out of 5 stars. If you're going to read this, I definitely suggest checking out the audiobook from the library or on Audible. The audiobook is incredible. I couldn't get over how good the audiobook. It gets you into the story. It has all different voices for all the different characters. I absolutely loved this book. I would definitely pick it up. The next thing I read in December was Cut Too Deep by Marissa Farrar. And this is, they called it a thriller romance. This is just something that I got off of my my Nook for free. I really enjoyed it. I don't really read like thriller romances. I've never read that before. But I thought it was really good. It's about a girl who escapes an abusive relationship, and she's kind of on the run, and she stumbles across this small town, but her car breaks down, and this guy comes to help her with her car, and she's kind of stuck in town for a couple of days and before the car gets fixed. So there is a lot of suspense because she is kind of running from her ex. And of course, there's the romance that buds between her and this new guy that she met. I really did enjoy this. There are a couple of graphic scenes that I don't know if it was 100% necessary, but I just like to put that out there, that there is a couple of graphic scenes in regards to like intimacy and also like violence. But it was an interesting read. I think it was worth it though. I did give it 4 out of 5 stars. The next thing I read was a graphic novel, and that's Bob's Burgers, and this is by the producers and writers of the show Bob's Burgers. I give this 5 out of 5 stars. If you've watched the show, you know that it's about Bob and his wife Linda and their 3 children, and it is hilarious. And it is an adult cartoon, but it is not as like raunchy as some of the other adult cartoons that are out there. It's just funny. It's there are parts that are inappropriate, but it's hilarious. The comic goes through 5 different phases. So the way that this is broken up in each comic, it's broken up into 5 parts. The first part being called Tina's Erotic Friend Fiction, so it's told from the perspective of Tina, and it's just like a funny story. The next is Bob's Burger of the Day Ideas, and so it's like a notebook paper of Bob's little ideas for his burgers. The next is Louise's Unsolved Mysteries and Curiosities. And so that's told from Louise, and they're like little, like she's being a detective. The next is Letters from Linda, and these are letters that Linda writes to either corporations or businesses or even to her friends, and they're just hilarious. And then lastly is Jean Belcher Presents The Boy in the Burger, the musical. So these are stories told from the perspective of Jean, and it's usually a musical, and it's just hilarious. So each comic is set up like that in this volume. So there's 5 different comics to make up for this, and I just thought it was hilarious. If you love Bob's Burgers and you think it's hilarious, then this is definitely worth the read. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. The next thing I read was Miss Marvel Volume 3, Crushed. And I will link down below my review of the first 2 volumes. I absolutely loved them. I gave them 5 out of 5 stars. I give this 5 out of 5 stars. I think it's a really, really spot on graphic novel for today's young people. I think that it is so good. I love Camilla as Miss Marvel. I think that she's incredible. I think the action is great. I think her relationship with her family is, her friends and her family is great. I love this series so much. If you haven't picked it up already, I would definitely pick up the first 2 and now the 3rd. And I think the 4th is about to come out, and I mean, they're just so good. Definitely worth the read. The next thing I read in December was Alex and Ada Volume 3. I read the first 2, I think, in October. And I really did enjoy this series. It just took me a while to get the 3rd one finished. But it is about a man who received a artificial intelligence robot for his birthday, and at first she was just like kind of a companion, and then they unlocked her. So once they unlocked her artificial intelligence, she was able to display emotions that only humans should be able to display, and it was just really good. I liked, out of all of them, I think I liked the first the best, but they all were really good. I think if you read one of them, you need to finish it and read the whole series, because I definitely think it's worth it. This one I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I give the whole series probably 4 out of 5 stars. The second one I gave 3 out of 5 stars. But yeah, I think it's worth it. The illustrations are beautiful. I think that the drama in it was good. There's a couple of parts that I wish were more climactic, but I did really enjoy it. I thought that it was really good, so I would definitely pick it up. The last thing that I read in December was Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. Now this was a reread for me, but this is one of my top, this is my favorite book of all time probably. I give it 5 out of 5 stars again. It's about a man who recently got out of a mental institution and went to live with his family, and he's trying to get his wife back. And it's really good. I think that it's a really real take on mental illness in today's world and how families deal with it, and how the individual learns to have real relationships in the real world, including with his family. And I thought it was really good. I really loved this book. I think it's an important book for people with mental illness and for people who don't have mental illness, but it'll help them to understand it more, because the way that the main character speaks in this book and how you read his thoughts is just so spot on for people with mental illness, and I just thought it was really incredible. So 5 out of 5 stars. So that's everything that I read in the month of December, and I'm excited for January coming up. I have some readathons that I'm going to be a part of, so I'm hoping that I get a good start to my reading year. And my goal for next year is to read 60 books. So that gives me about 5 a month. I thought that was a reasonable goal, so hopefully I will be able to meet that. So let me know down below if you have any special goals for 2016, and if you read any of these books in December or anytime, and how you enjoyed them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.